Hello Malaysia, this is Gerryko here, and this is a Wait a Minute production book review hunt, I guess. So today is the 2nd of January 2013. It's Thursday and it's 1:45 p.m. So before I return these books, I would like to talk about it just a little bit. So before we go into that, I would like to say that I'm quite saddened by the fact that one of the websites that I normally watch for movie reviews has been shut down. It's called spill.com. How it's spelled is SPILL.com. They did a lot of funny animation and they posted it into the YouTube, and it's quite funny. Normally I would hear their audio cast or podcast instead of watching their video, which is the video is normally about 5 minutes long, but the audio cast is about roughly 20 minutes long, and it involves 4 people. Quite noisy. 4 people talking about a movie, and it's quite funny how their chemistry between the 4 guys who reviews the movie. So a couple of days ago it was shut down. It's something to do with Hollywood.com, blah blah blah. I don't know what happened. So hopefully the guys at spill.com will as soon as possible make a new website and to promote movies and such, and have the same chemistry that I've been enjoying for these past few years, I think. Yeah, I discovered them, I think, when I was in Britain. Britain is a very boring place, I must tell you that. So that's one thing out of the way. So as you can see here, this is the W Fighter Zero Custom new mobile report fighter wing and the swords pearl mirror coating version. I think I got this for 180 ringgit. That's roughly about 90 US dollars, I think. 90 times 3. Yep, 90 US dollars, and of course this is cheaper than the Bandai one, because this is by Gao Gao. These 2 Chinese characters here is Gao Gao or Coco or Tall Tall. In English, Tall Tall. This is the Chinese character for tall. That's why it's cheap, 180 ringgit. That's one of the viewers asked me why is it so cheap, because in the US it's about roughly 180 US dollars, and this one is actually 90 US dollars. It's because it is a pirated version, or as we call it, a third-party version. So today I would like to talk about 3 books actually, or 4 books. And you can see the RX-78-2 here, a master grade version. That's the version 2.0. So today, this book here, Salmon Fishing in the Yemen, or as I fondly like to call it, Salmon Fishing in the Seamen. This is by a guy named Paul Torday, and it has been adapted into a movie starring Emily Blunt here and Evan McGregor here. Of course, we know that Evan McGregor has been I don't think I've seen many of his movies lately. I'm not sure. I can't remember any of his latest movies, except for the diabolical Star Wars prequels 1, 2 and 3. After that I don't know, but he did star in a very good film with Scarlett Johansson in that Michael Bay film, one of the good Michael Bay films. That was before the Transformers debacle, which of course, if you watch my videos, you know that I really hate Michael Bay's Transformers movies, particularly the second one and the third one. The first one was very good. Second and third one is getting stupid. I'm not that eager for the 4th movie, which is starring Mark Wahlberg. Yep, Mark Wahlberg. There's no more that Shia LaBeouf. Thank God, quite annoying fella. So let's get back to business here. Salmon Fishing in the Seamen. You gotta read this one. This book is great. I didn't watch the whatchamacallit movie. I don't think I intend to watch it, because this book is good enough. So let me read the excerpt, or the stuff at the back. So Sunday Telegraph, which is a newspaper, says that it's warmly recommended to anyone searching for feel-good comedy with surprising bite. And the excerpt is: when he is asked to become involved in a project to create a salmon river in the highlands of the Yemen, fisheries scientist Dr. Alfred Jones rejects the idea as absurd. But the proposal catches the eye of several senior British politicians. Fred then finds himself forced to work with the eccentric Sheikh Mohammed and his beautiful assistant Harriet, and there's the small matter of figuring out how to fly 10,000 salmon to a desert country and persuade them to swim there. So I would say that I would give this book 8 stars out of 10. It is very intriguing, especially when it's about this character here, Dr. Alfred Jones, and he has a wife, and both of them, they grow quite distant over the years, or over the time period of this salmon project, and it's quite disturbing actually in terms of relationships between man and wife. And there's also a growing romance between the Dr. Alfred Jones and the beautiful assistant Harriet here. So I really like the kind of like a romance. It's not there, but there was some romance like thing between Harriet and also Dr. Alfred Jones. I like that. 8 stars out of 10. And looking at the movie credits, the director of this movie, Salmon Fishing in the Yemen, is by the director who did Chocolate and Cider House Rules. And that, I think the director is pretty good. I like the Cider House Rules. That was starring that Spider-Man star, not the current one, which is the, what's his name, Garfield, Garfield something, I'm not sure. It's the old Spider-Man movies 1, 2, and 3, involving Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire starred in the Cider House Rules with that whatchamacallit, that British actor, I forgot what's his name already. Very nice, the Cider House Rules, and it has that South African girl, Charlize Theron, which I'm a fan of. She is very beautiful, Charlize Theron. Very nice. Yep, do go and read this book. Watch the movie? No, I don't know. I haven't watched it, so God knows how good it is. But the book is excellent. It's always the book that is better than the movie, definitely. In terms of when it comes to movies, they cannot like explain or show you the feelings of each character, but a book does. A book can do that. It's the same thing with the books of Hunger Games. I love the books, the 3 books. It is a very fast read. It's short chapters and it keeps you. It's a page turner. You have to read the Hunger Games. You have to read the Hunger Games. It's really good. 3 books, but very you go through it very quickly. Very quickly. I assure you, it is very exciting. The Hunger Games. The movie is okay. It's not bad. I haven't seen the second movie, which came out about 1 or 2 months ago. Waiting for it to be able. I'm waiting to purchase it online. That is. So do read this one. This one is pretty good. And here is a book by Khalid Hosseini. It's called The Kite Runner. I read this about 1 or 2 years ago. And let's read the excerpt. Daily Telegraph says it's a devastating, masterful, and painfully honest story. So the excerpt, the summary is: 12-year-old Amir is desperate to win the approval of his father and resolves to win the local kite fighting tournament to prove that he has the makings of a man. His loyal friend Hassan promises to help him, for he always helps Amir. But this is 1970s Afghanistan, and Hassan is merely a low-caste servant who is jeered at in the street, although Amir feels jealous of his natural courage and the place he holds in his father's heart. But neither of the boys could foresee what would happen to Hassan on the afternoon of the tournament, which was to shatter their lives. After the Russians invade and the family is forced to flee to America, Amir realizes that one day he must return and find the one thing that his new world cannot grant him: redemption. This book here, I read another book by Kite here, which is, don't know what's the name of it really. There's some other book by Khalid Hosseini which is also very good. I think it's after this book. It's also about Afghanistan and the plight of the people there. I would give this book a 9 stars out of 10. It has been translated to a book. I mean, it has been ported to a movie. I mean, it's been adapted to a movie. I purchased the movie, but I didn't watch it because I just could not stomach it. After reading this book, I could not just watch the movie because I already know the whole damn story. It's very good. It really almost made me cry because it is a very sad story. So if you guys or girls love this type of sad stories, do read books from this Khalid Hosseini here. And if you are living in Afghanistan, definitely your life is kind of sad because, I mean, war never changes. It's just terrible. This potpourri of sadness in Afghanistan. So this is a very good book. Very good book. It is excellente. I still can't remember what's the name of this second book from Khalid Hosseini here. It's not written here at all. So far, 2 of these books, they were adapted to the silver screen, and I didn't watch them. And if a book is adapted to a silver screen, you know it is good shit. This is very good shit. Definitely, you must read this one, The Kite Runner, or anything by this Khalid Hosseini. I think so far there's 3 or 4 books from this author here. This one, Paul Torday, I'm not sure of him, not familiar with him at all. But Salmon, Fishing in the Yemen, if you like romance, you like relationships, you like a bit of comedy, it's quite light-hearted stuff here. It's pretty awesome. It's actually in the form of diary, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I read this one about 1 or 2 years ago. It's a good read. It's in diary form, and it also talks about the politics in the United Kingdom or Britain. Good stuff. And last but not least, this is a very thick book. Very thick book indeed. It's called We Are Anonymous. It's written by Parmi Olsen, and it says, inside the hacker world of LuzSec, Anonymous and the global cyber insurgency. So it was Anonymous came about in 2010, 2011, I think. It was quite a big hoorah at that time, but nowadays it's a bit well, not that prevalent anymore. So, and am I going to read the summary? Okay, I'll read it in Indian style. We Are Anonymous is the first full account of how loosely assembled the global group of hackers formed a new kind of insurgency, rocking governments and corporations alike, and were brought down by the ultimate betrayal of one of their own. Palme Olsen goes behind the headlines and into the world of Anonymous and LuzSec, with unprecedented access, drawing on hundreds of conversations with hackers themselves, including exclusive interviews with all the core members of LuzSec. In late 2010, thousands of hacktivists joined the mass digital assault on the website of Visa, MasterCard and PayPal to protest their treatment of WikiLeaks. Other targets were wide-ranging. The websites of Sony Entertainment, Fox, the Vatican, and the Church of Scientology were hacked, defaced, and embarrassed. The message was that no one was safe. Thousands of user accounts from pornography websites were released, exposing government employees and military personnel. Although some attacks were perpetrated by masses of users who were rallied on the message boards of 4chan, many others were masterminded by a small, tight-knit group of hackers who formed a splinter group of Anonymous called LazSec. The legend of Anonymous and LazSec grew in the wake of each ambitious hack. But how were they penetrating intricate corporate security systems? Were they anarchists or activists? Teams or lone wolves? A cabal of skilled hackers or a disorganized bunch of kids? We Are Anonymous delves deep into the internet's underbelly to tell the astonishing full story of a global cyber-insurgency movement and its implications for the future of computer security. So this is a very, very thick book indeed, but I must say that it is quite interesting, very interesting indeed. How did I read this back about 1 or 2 years ago when I'm like cycling, not on the roads, okay, the machines that helps you to, like, say, exercise is not moving around. It's just those exercise cycle machines. When I'm cycling, I'll just read this one here, and it is quite intriguing, especially when you want to know how how these hackers or people with gift to hack into computers, or very gifted in computer words, how they communicate with each other and what happened between them. There are a few characters here who are part of Anonymous, or part of the LazSec group, who love to cause chaos in the interweb sphere. It's a good book. I would say I would give it 8 stars out of 10, because this is quite intriguing. If you want to know what happened in the web sphere, this is the book to read. It is very thick. It's quite daunting, of course, since it's such a thick book, but it is very, very good. Props to Pami Olsen here for making a very, I mean, it can be a very dull read in some incapable hands, but Pami Olsen here did a very good job making it more palatable to the masses, okay? And I am the masses, I'm dumb. So I enjoyed the book, and she has done a good job. So do read this one if you want to know what the fuck happened back in what year? I'm not sure. 2010. Yep, 2010. The Anonymous or the LazSec or the cyber hackers were running amok everywhere, and it was exciting times. Those were exciting times. But nowadays I don't hear anything at all. And another book that I would like to talk about is George R. Martin's first book here, Game of Thrones. You might have watched the HBO series already, and it's an excellent HBO series. You got nudity, you got blood, you got monsters, or they call it the White Walkers. They got Daenerys Targaryen, very, very pretty, and Sansa, she looks great as well. What more do you want? They have sex scenes in it as well, and full body nudity. It's very good, very good. And that's why I did not read the first book. I read the second, third, fourth, and fifth book, but I neglected the first book. The second, third, and fourth, and fifth book, well, I kind of remember what happened, but I might have forgotten already, because I read it from the net, so it strained my eyes just looking at the screen, because it is such a page turner. You kind of forget everything after you read everything already. Because I read about 4 books in 2 months' time, I think. Just staring at the screen. Oh my god, fucking hell! Don't read books from the computer screen. It's a bad idea. So if you want to read books, buy the book. It's quite cheap, I think. If you go to Popular Store, I think they are selling the 5 set. It's a 5 set book box, 5 box set. There are 5 books. Of course, this is one of them. Game of Thrones. Second one is the Clash of Kings. Third, fourth, and fifth, I'm not sure what are the titles. After Clash of the Kings, there was the, I don't remember the fourth and fifth title. Clash of Kings, the second one. Dance of Dragons is the fifth one, the thickest book ever. That one is, I think, also is included in the box set. The fourth and fifth one is yeah, this made my life easier. I don't need to rack my brain trying to remember the other titles. So Game of Thrones is the first book. The second book is called Clash of Kings. The third book is Storm of Swords. The fourth book is Feast for Crows, and the fifth one is The Dance with Dragons. And the sixth one, which I hopefully will be coming soon, is called Winter is Coming, or Winter is that's a winter word there. Winter, I don't know, I don't remember, winter something. That's hopefully that is the sixth book. But George R.R. Martin, this picture does not represent what he is looking like now. He's a fat man, and he's getting old already, and a lot of the people who love this book, actually. He's getting old, he's fat, he's overweight, he's like the Peter Jackson when Peter Jackson did his first trilogy of films. Very fat, obese, clinically dead or something like that. So it takes a very long time for him to write a book. So maybe a few years. Fuck. I hopefully heaven does not come calling before he finishes the damn fucking saga. Because if somebody dies or he dies, then everything is fucked. Definitely fucked. Completely, utterly fucked. But I do enjoy all the books. And thank God I had the courage to read the first book again. I mean, to read the first book, even though I've watched the HBO series, the first season, and there are a lot of stuff inside here that HBO series did not cover at all, and there's some changes as well. The HBO series did not, like, say, follow the book word for word, scene for scene. That's because, I mean, that in itself